Greetings everyone, my name is Balázs Fekete, Technical Director of Comptech and Managing Director of Smart Network Solutions. And let us introduce ourselves and our Hungarian Kamstrup Distribution with my colleague Bence from Smart Network Solutions. Let's start with some kind of history and comparing with the Kamstrup meter evolution. We have a pretty huge history with Kamstrup. As you can see, our distribution started in 1991. I think it was the first meter was like multical one or something, so it's a pretty old and ancient one. And this timeline represents how far we can come with Kamstrup. But now we cannot stop there, because as we see this evolution, the new innovations, the new solutions that Kamstrup can provide, and as we see the market and the new demands, it is not enough only just distribute meters, just sell meters to the customers. It is necessary to add more value, add more solutions. And that's why we decided to establish Smart Network Solutions, which is the official system, software, and first-line support partner of Kamstrup since 2016. And to collect the whole distribution, we have Karolvíz, which is a certified Kamstrup service partner since 2011. They are a laboratory partner, repairing, recalibration meters, and all together. So we want to present value to our customers and use those benefits that Kamstrup can provide, and we use it to make projects like this. So our main activity is obviously selling meters, but selling solutions, make unique solutions, what the customer needs, what unique requests they have. This is what we call Kamstrup full package. We implemented in our business strategy in 2016 when we established Smart Network Solutions, and it's pretty similar as Kamstrup do it assisted and do it together programs. So from the main meetings, the preparation, the agreement, we are doing together with our partners. We have them, or we are doing the planning, the testing, for example, it's wired or wireless communication if it's necessary. And obviously, we provide them the devices, meters, communication parts. But after that, it's not only our solution and service that we can provide them. We have experienced and professional subcontractors who can install the heat, cooling, water, and electricity meters. We have another subcontractor who is expert and they have a lot of old telecommunication colleagues, and this is how they implement these networks and establish to us these networks. So after that, if we can hand over the project because of all the meters are working and operating well, and the communication performance is an above limit that which is necessary, we can hand over the project, and as a closing step, we give them a detailed training. But it's not enough. We need to provide them continuous support. This is how you can make a strategy, because if they expand the project, you are there. If there is new project, you are there, and you can fulfill all their requirements. So it's a good to make communication towards with them. Now you can see the map of Hungary, all these biggest Hungarian cities, towns. And if we filter it where we have ready projects, it's 1/3 of them. So it's about 30% of them. And let's start it with our capital city, Budapest. There live about 2 million people, which is 20% of the Hungarian population. So that's why we have pretty good projects there. For example, we have 3 office buildings, especially and mainly focused on the electricity meters, and some of those are water meters, and they are all fixed network, hourly values, and obviously ready manager. I can proudly present our biggest partner, BKM Fekete, which is one of the oldest district heat supplier in Europe, and they are the Budapest district heat suppliers. They have the most amount of meters in Hungary. It's about 6,000, and I can say all of them are Kamstrup meters. They have their own controlling and monitoring system, which we help them to join the Kamstrup meters, but where it's not on there, in block of flats, we provide them the drive-by solution and ready. And these numbers are expanding. Another interesting project was and is a research center where they had an old legacy radio mesh network, which we integrated into READY. And for some of the important gas meters, they are using multi-cloud gateways and NB-IoT communication to give proper data transmission, and some of the meters are using by drive-by solution. We have the Budapest Technical University, where all their buildings are installed with, for the main supply, omnipower electricity meters and heat meters, multi-cloud meters. And for commercial use, we are pretty strong in a mall market. We have 3 malls in Budapest. 2 of them are using wireless communication and fixed network hourly values. This is Mammoth Mall and Western Mall, and one of them are using drive-by solution, and hopefully soon we can expand it and upgrade it to fixed network. And we are here with our first case story, which is Western Mall. They have more than 200 meters right now. This mall is one of the biggest malls in Hungary, located in the middle of Budapest, 52,000 square meters floor area, 400 stores, 50 catering units, and 60 offices. Right now they have more than 200 meters, so we have a lot to do that in the future. You can see in the map from READY that how these meters are located, and they needed to admit that they do not have the human resource and the experience to make a project like that. So that's why we are so customer focused to give them and provide them a turnkey solution. That's why we not only selling those meters, but we installed in exchange those meters. We installed the communication covered with 3 READY concentrators, and additionally we changed the hydraulic valves. We made the hydraulic adjustment with our help, our subcontractors. So the future plans would be, because they are pretty satisfied with our service and solution, keep changing all the heat, cooling, and water meters, and hopefully after the calibration period ended, we can change all of their electricity meters, and above that we can implement an energy management system. And let's see other reference projects outside of Budapest, because there are a few of them. For example, there are 2 industrial buildings which we using our precious partner LiveWire's help and their LiveView system to have electricity meters, omnipower meters with 4G modules, and the new Omnia e-meter with NB-IoT communication, which has already integrated in the system. Hopefully we can close the project in the next couple of weeks. Besides that, there is an interesting project which is the only 5-star camping in Hungary. There are more than 200 electricity meters with READY wireless and bus fixed network. My colleague Bence will come with the details because it's pretty interesting. We are using first time their API. We have a pretty good relationship with the Hungarian Veolia. They exclusively buy Kamstrup meters, and we made them 2 different fixed network solution. One is a hospital for multi-utility meters. I mean, all of the consumptions are there. And in Siklós with the district heat supplier, we covered the whole city with wireless and bus communication, and all of the meters were changed to Kamstrup meters. Sometimes we need to start somewhere and not only just implement a fixed network. And the end of previous year, we changed in Mosonmagyaróvár, the district heat suppliers have all of their meters to Kamstrup meters, and now they are using drive-by solution at the moment, and they are pretty satisfied with that. Same as in Szeged, which is the third biggest city in Hungary. In the previous years, we changed 600 meters there to Kamstrup meters, and this process is keep going until we change all of their meters. They're using the same drive-by solution, which really, and hopefully in the really near future, we can upgrade all those two systems to LinkIQ. And one of our first huge project was in Kecskemét, where we just get to know how it really works, how we can install concentrators, how we can struggle with external antennas, repeaters, and all together. But at the end, everything was successful, and now they are using it continuously, and we support them. But it is different if we compare the other project, which is in Miskolc with the district heat supplier, where we implemented and released in 2021 the LinkIQ solution. It's way more better for the coverage, for the signal penetration. So at this city, we did not use any repeaters, any external antenna. All the internal antennas, the meters are in concrete block of flats basement, but the signal penetration and the communication performance is 100%. And last but not least, our biggest partner next to Budapest district heat supplier, I can say, is in the city of Kaposvár, which we the same changed all of their Kamstrup heat meters. Previous meters to Kamstrup heat meters. We need fixed network, and we have a pilot for FlowIQ 2200 meters for domestic hot waters. Let's see them. It's not the biggest cities in Hungary, but they are in the top 15, I guess. The population is 68,000, but the main thing is the district heat supplier there is so innovative. They want to present an example to other Hungarian district heat supplier. That's why they are doing this kind of innovative things, and that's why we have a really good partnership with them. So they have almost 400 heat meters, which were already changed in the previous years. They have 10,000 domestic hot water meters, and we already have a pilot for 369, which is working pretty fine with LinkIQ. There are 5 concentrators in the city, which we covered all of the metering points. And in the previous year, we upgraded those old really concentrators into LinkIQ concentrators because of the water meters. And where we are struggling the communication, we are using 4G modules into multicast, and the meters which are pretty far from the concentrators, we are using MBIoT meters. So it's a pretty hybrid solution, anything that customer needs, and here you can see an installed LinkIQ solution with a power supply unit, with a 1 amp concentrator and the Omni antenna, a large one. Yeah, but these were only just parameters. These were what I can say about this project. But the main focus is what can the customer say about that and how they can use it. So here is the feedback of the Kaposvár technical director, Zsuzsanna Oic. So when we implemented this simultaneous meter readout, they were so satisfied because it's a basic requirement for monthly energy data processing, accurate invoicing, and obligation and fulfill the obligation to provide data to their customers. Before that, the manual readout took days, and after that, now they can utilize those employees on other fields and tasks and avoid problematic manual errors. This huge amount of hourly data provides continuous tracking of supplier system, easy prediction of future energy demands. That means savings to them. And obviously they are using infocodes to prevent or at least control the damages that they see in the system. And with this huge amount of data, they can make accurate trends and calculations, optimizing operation, increasing efficiency of power generation schedule, and cost-efficient future investments. Because they are using those ready data not only just for data collection and see what's going on in their system, they implement it in a similar system, hydraulic dynamic modeling system, same as and similar as heat intelligence, but a bit level up because they are using their pressure data, environmental data, for example, temperature, air pressure, humidity, and these calculations made like that. And this is an example how they can present the data right now manually to their customers. And now I would like to pass the word to my colleague Bence, who can show you how you can use those values and benefits that Kamstrup can provide you and make new user cases. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so even after the concentrators are installed, all the meters are installed, the communication network is ready, there are also further possibilities with these customers. And as Balázs mentioned, this Kaposvár district heat supplier is a very innovative company, and we started a discussion about a web application which basically provides data to the consumers. And this we would do with utilizing the READY API and providing also some minimal analysis functionalities. So the main reason for this is, there is two basically. One, yesterday I heard about in two presentations EED. So here is it again. There will be a mandatory monthly consumption data reporting for the consumers. It has to happen until 2027. As this is an innovative company, they want to be ahead of all the other district heat suppliers in Hungary. The other reason is that they got a lot of customer requests for data, and you know, we are in the middle of the energy crisis, and the prices went high up, and the reason, so the government created measures to reduce the energy consumption of public institutions, and these public institutions requested the data, previous year's data, to compare with this year's data, so how these measures affected the actual consumption. Let's see some planned features in this application. So there is the basic feature, the data visualization. This is self-explanatory, so I won't go into detail. There is the data comparison. So this I mentioned earlier, and basically you can compare daily, monthly, yearly data with this, or you can just choose arbitrary dates and compare those as well. And there is another important functionality, the export. So once you compare the data, you maybe want to work further with it, so it's good to have export functionality where you can work with your data in Excel. And the READY API also enables the user to get the info codes. So if anything happens, like a leak in a certain home, the consumer can be actually notified. And as you can see, this is nothing new really. It's just basically providing the READY functionalities that the service provider already has to the consumers as well. And yeah, the main users of these would be, I guess, the public institution I mentioned. Okay, so we talked about the READY API. There was a nice presentation yesterday about it. There is a nice sentence about the READY API. I'm not gonna read it. It's basically, yeah, it's from a leaflet from the API access guide. And yeah, let's talk about how does it work exactly. So we have a client. This is basically the web application. And we have a server. In this case, this is the READY hosted version. And we have, of course, the database where all the data is stored. So in between the client and the server, there is the interface. This is called the REST API. In certain endpoints in the READY API, there are webhooks. I will talk about it as well. But basically, how does it work? So the client makes a request. Let's consider getting a list of meters. We make a GET request to the server through the API. The server receives this request, makes a query to the database. The database, based on this query, retrieves the data. And the server then can push back in a format. It's mostly a JSON response. So you get something like this at the end, but in case of multiple meters in the system, an array of this JSON object. And the other thing is, if there is a webhook subscription, we actually post a URL to the server where the server will send back the data. So this is basically all the difference. In case of the REST API, you get an immediate response. In case of the webhook subscription, you get a separate response from the server. Okay. And now let's get back to the thermal camping. And let's see a nice picture of it. As Balázs already mentioned, this is the only 5-star camping in Hungary. And yeah, you can only see the camping here, but believe me, next to it there is a thermal bus, so it's a pretty nice place. Okay. So this camping approached us, and they basically wanted to create consumption-based billing by installing electricity meters to all the different parcels that can be reserved. These parcels are the parcels where the caravans are staying, and each of these parcels have an electrical connection. So how did we solve it? Hardware-wise, we used the EM24 Kamstrup Special with wireless and bus communication, and the internal antennas were perfectly fine in this case, and we only used one READY concentrator for getting all the data into READY from all of these meters. Okay, now let's get to the software part. So utilizing the READY API, we had to create a camping monitoring web application with the main feature to be able to be used as a billing-based software. So I mean consumption-based billing with this feature. Okay. You can see here the installed meters. Every 4 parcel has a box of these 4 meters. Actually, the customer doesn't really use the READY interface because these are camping personnel. They are not really engineers. They don't really care about all this stuff. They basically want to have, at the end of a reservation period, the end result, subtracting the end value from from the start value, which is basically the consumption of the certain client for that period. And this is basically the parcel details page from our web application. You can see the parcel ID, the meter ID on the parcel, the actual value. This is actually updated hourly, and you can see the latest update timestamp here. And you can also here see a status of the parcel as well. Okay, this is the map that we received from the customer, and based on this, we created the user interface. The requirement was to be simply usable and self-explanatory. So these parcels are actually clickable. You can you see that there are color codes. You see that the green ones, these are active parcels, which means there is an active reservation on it. And yeah, these ones are the inactive parcels. What is good about this is that when the lady sitting in the reception checks in a certain customer, she can immediately see that which parcel is available at the moment. And there is also check-in and check-out functionality, and basically when the checkout happens, there is a calculation and they get the end result, and based on that consumption, they can actually make a correct bill to their client. You see that there is also the red parcels. These are, let's say, the unwanted consumption parcels. Our customer told us that there are some tricky clients who go there and they do not plug the caravan to the respective electrical connection, but they pull the cable and just walk to somewhere else and plug it there. And to avoid this in the future, basically when there is an hourly monitoring of these parcels, if there is an inactive parcel and there is a consumption on it, we mark it with this red color, and we notify the camping personnel via email, and they can actually interfere. Yeah, this is what I actually talked about right now. And yeah, we also store the start and end time of these, let's say, we call it in the application faults. And as you can see, basically, we are giving the customers the meters, we are installing those meters, we are actually planning the communication, testing the communication, installing the communication, give them the software support, and we also give them customized, tailored solution for the customer needs. And yeah, as Balázs mentioned, this is what we call the full package, the Kamstrup full package, and this is basically how we work in Hungary. So if you want to get into deeper technical details regarding these applications, I'll be available in the breaks, but right now this is all I wanted to say, and thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please do ask.